There was no Vlogmas post last night, which I think was the 12th. I think the last time we spoke, I was heading out to go see Blade Runner. I did not go because the snow was so bad, and I figured something terrible will happen because that's how my luck goes. So I just stayed home and I watched The Martian, which is a terrible film. I highly recommend you don't waste your time. We can go into that debate later if anybody needs to, but I don't know how well you can hear me, so we will stick to the basics. So last night, so the 12th, that was the 11th. So the 12th, I went to work, and then I left work because I was going to go try and see Blade Runner again. Figuring, of course, the showtime that was on Monday would be the same on Tuesday. And I drove all the way to the theater, and it's gone. Again, my luck. Like, literally, they're not showing the film at all anymore. I've never heard of a movie leaving in the, during the week without any other releases coming out. But anyways, it kind of all worked out in the end because I have a relative who has started chemotherapy, and the whole reason I had half shaved my head and dyed it purple was because I had basically done the same with their hair. It's just a fun, we're going to be losing it, so let's do something. And their hair started falling out last night, and so I had driven out of town to go be with them because the whole plan was to shave our heads together. So I'm now shaved under this, which looks very nice, let me say. Yeah, not so much. I'm not totally bald. I wanted to go totally bald, but everybody there was like, no, not necessary. So it's shaved basically as short as you could go. But that's what I ended up doing last night. So now I'm driving from out of town back into town to just go to work in the same clothes as yesterday. So that'll be very interesting. Not that my wardrobe is all that elaborate. As you may have noticed, I pretty much wear the same fucking thing every day. But that's the update. Alright, I have to do some sewing tonight for Christmas presents. So I thought I would show you guys the studio, because I spent a lot of time working on it the past year or two, painting and buying stuff and all that jazz. So this is my streaming area, for all those many streams. I think there were 5 that I had done. But yeah. One day, again, we may stream. Sorry about the blinding light up in this corner. I'll just block that with my hand, I guess. But that's that. There's some eyeball doodlings that I was doing with twitch.tv/Pale Sienna was teaching us how to do eyeballs. If you don't follow her, make sure to check her out. She's amazing. And then this was... Ooh, we're going to get my fat body out of that reflection. Then I wanted to have... just a large working corkboard for just, storyboarding and ideas and swatches and whatnot. A couple calendars with weird words that I basically made up. Not true at all, but we don't need to know the origins of those. And then over here was my actual sewing areas. Ignore the ugly... I'm going to try to keep the ugly boxes out. There's 2 setups because one of the setups is for a friend of mine that we went to school together and one day hope to work and sew together. So that's all that. And I'm a super organized freak. She's not so much. So most of this is for me because it makes me happy. But I hope it'll be a nice space we can all work in. But yeah, that's the studio essentially. It's hard to show the whole thing because it's not a big room. It looks bigger actually in the camera. It's actually only 8 by 10 or 10 by 10 maybe. Okay, one more thing I want to show before we move on. I'm not on camera because, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I shaved my head today. Not sure how I feel about that. I'm also in gross pajamas and not wearing any pants. But I did want to show one thing, and it's my Christmas present for my mother. So, mother, if for some random reason you happen to be watching this, which I don't know how, but anything can happen, you need to stop watching now, especially if it's before December 25th, 2017, because then you're going to spoil your Christmas present. But for everyone else who's still here, so I bought her, these are all fat quarters. I don't quilt, but, you know, I know how to sew. So this is a fat quarters that I'm going to sew into a pillow for her. Because she asked me to. I would not be smart enough to come up with this on my own. Not specifically these fabrics, but she wanted anything from this company. And these are some really cool, like, animal yarns. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet. I had one idea was to maybe fold these like this and then put them all along the edge of the pillow like a fringe, basically. Like do it with all the yarns. I'm just not sure if there's enough yarn or enough fabric to do that. And ribbon. Good Lord, I can't talk. Enough ribbon to do that. So I'm still debating that. Maybe I'll do this on stream if I feel motivated to actually stream this weekend. And that could be fun because I literally have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm going to patchwork this somehow into fabric, like a single piece of fabric, and then make the pillow from that. There should be tons, so we might even be able to make something else. But that's the plan.